Before smartphones and laptops became the centerpieces of our daily lives, there existed a world powered by ingenuity, determination, and the hum of machines that filled entire rooms. This was an era of gears, vacuum tubes, and relentless curiosity. A time when the idea of a computer was as mysterious as it was revolutionary. The digital revolution wasn't sparked by a few famous names alone, it was built by countless forgotten heroes, each contributing a vital piece to the puzzle. These men and women, often working in the shadows, imagined new ways for humanity to think, communicate, and solve problems, laying the groundwork for the world we know today. Innovation is rarely a solo act, it's a jam session of minds building on each other's ideas, where breakthroughs are born from collaboration and shared vision. For every Steve Jobs or Bill Gates, whose names became synonymous with progress, there were dozens, sometimes hundreds of engineers, mathematicians, and thinkers who worked tirelessly behind the scenes, often without recognition. They translated abstract theories and complex equations into physical machines, painstakingly assembling the building blocks of our digital age. This is about the people who dug the foundations when the ground was still unbroken, who dared to dream of a future powered by information. Their stories are embedded in every click, swipe, and keystroke we make today, echoing through the technology that shapes our lives. It's time to bring their stories back into the light, to honor the unsung architects who made our digital world possible. Ada Lovelace is often called the first programmer, a visionary who imagined a future where machines could do more than just calculate numbers. She saw the potential for computers to create music, art, and more, decades before the first real computer was ever built. But the story of early software is much bigger than any one person. It was a collective effort, shaped by teams of brilliant minds, many of them women, who worked behind the scenes to bring these ideas to life. The 6 women who programmed the ENIAC, Kay McNulty, Betty Jennings, Betty Snyder, Marlon Westkoff, Fran Bilas, and Ruth Lichterman, essentially invented programming as we know it. They were pioneers, translating complex mathematical problems into instructions for a machine that had never been programmed before. Working without manuals or blueprints, they had to figure out everything from scratch, tracing wires, setting switches, and literally plugging in the logic that would make the ENIAC run. Their ingenuity turned a room-sized calculator into the world's first general-purpose computer. Meanwhile, Hedy Lamarr, a Hollywood star with a passion for invention, co-developed a frequency-hopping system during World War II. Her work, done in secret, laid the groundwork for technologies we now take for granted, like Wi-Fi, GPS, and Bluetooth. Long before any of this, Charles Babbage, often called the father of the computer, designed the analytical engine, a mechanical computer that was a century ahead of its time. His ideas inspired generations of inventors and thinkers. Babbage's vision was to automate thought itself, to create a machine that could follow instructions and solve problems. An idea that would eventually change the world. Grace Hopper, a Navy Rear Admiral and trailblazer, championed the idea of machine-independent programming. She invented the compiler, a tool that made programming accessible to more people and opened the door to modern software development. Hopper also popularized the term debugging after famously finding a moth stuck in a computer relay, a story that still makes programmers smile today. These innovators weren't just building machines, they were redefining what was possible, pushing the boundaries of imagination and technology with every breakthrough. Their contributions are the backbone of our digital world, reminding us that progress is built on the creativity, persistence, and courage of those who dared to dream beyond the usual suspects. What drove these pioneers? Insatiable curiosity and a refusal to accept the status quo. Alan Turing sought to answer, "Can machines think?" His quest laid the foundation for modern computing. The ENIAC programmers were motivated by the urgent needs of World War II, solving problems under immense pressure. Many, like Grace Hopper, had strong backgrounds in mathematics, but it was their mindset, seeing systems and patterns, that set them apart. They believed even the most complex problems could be broken down and solved. United by a vision of machines augmenting human intellect, they aimed to free people from tedious labor. Their goal wasn't just invention, it was empowerment. They built tools to amplify human potential. The vacuum tube transformed computers from slow, mechanical devices into fast, electronic machines. This pivotal invention marked the beginning of a new era in computing, where speed and efficiency began to take precedence over the cumbersome and sluggish mechanical parts of the past. This leap made calculations that once took days possible in seconds. Imagine the impact on industries like finance, engineering, and science, where complex computations could now be performed almost instantaneously, revolutionizing the way problems were solved. Grace Hopper's compiler let programmers use human-like language, paving the way for modern software. Her work made programming more accessible and less error-prone, allowing more people to contribute to the growing field of computer science. John von Neumann's stored program architecture meant computers could be reprogrammed with new instructions, making them flexible and powerful. This architecture is still the foundation of most computer systems today, highlighting its enduring significance. The invention of the transistor at Bell Labs shrank computers from room-sized giants to devices that fit on a desk, and eventually, in your pocket. This miniaturization was a game-changer, leading to the development of personal computers and mobile devices that we rely on every day. The transistor was smaller, faster, and more reliable than vacuum tubes. It consumed less power and generated less heat, making it ideal for the next generation of electronic devices. These breakthroughs didn't just improve machines, they changed what computers could be. They transformed computers from specialized tools for scientists and engineers into versatile devices for everyday use. Each innovation built on the last, accelerating the digital revolution. The rapid pace of technological advancement created a feedback loop, where each new development spurred further innovation. The principles behind these inventions still power our devices today. From the smartphones in our pockets to the servers that run the internet, the legacy of these early breakthroughs is all around us. The digital world is a mosaic of these foundational ideas. Each piece, each innovation fits together to create the complex and interconnected systems we depend on. Without them, our modern lives would be unrecognizable. The conveniences and capabilities we take for granted today are built on the shoulders of these groundbreaking advancements. The pioneers' lives were as fascinating as their inventions. Alan Turing, codebreaker and marathon runner, found clarity in long-distance running, mirroring his intellectual endurance. Hedy Lamar's frequency-hopping idea came while playing piano, but her invention was ignored for years because of her Hollywood fame. The ENIAC women were overlooked for decades, mistaken for models rather than recognized as the first software engineers. Their contributions were finally acknowledged 50 years later. Charles Babbage, brilliant yet eccentric, waged war against London's street musicians, claiming their noise hindered his work. He calculated that a quarter of his time was lost to their music. These quirks reveal the human side of genius. Behind every breakthrough was a person with passions, frustrations, and persistence. Their stories remind us that innovation is deeply human. The pioneers' work reshaped every aspect of modern life. Their principles power global supply chains, banking, and logistics. The miniaturization sparked by the transistor put supercomputers in our pockets. GPS, social media, and streaming all trace back to their breakthroughs. Their inventions revolutionized science and medicine, enabling genome sequencing and advanced diagnostics. The ENIAC women's story now inspires new generations, especially women in tech. Each wave of innovation builds on their legacy. They didn't just invent machines, they created a new way of living and thinking. Their spark continues to fuel progress. The ripple effect of their work is everywhere. The story of computing is still being written, echoing the questions of its first pioneers. Their work reminds us that technology's roots are human, born from curiosity and collaboration. Innovation is messy, collaborative, and full of forgotten figures. By celebrating diverse pioneers, we inspire future innovators from all backgrounds. Digging into history reveals the people behind the code: Turing running, Lamar at her piano, Hopper debugging. Their stories demystify technology and connect us to its core. The greatest legacy isn't a single invention but a new digital frontier for us all to explore. Every time we boot up, we continue their story.